Hey everyone, delighted to have you here as always. Today's topic is a really important one. It is a trap that a lot of freelancers can fall into at the start of their freelancing career. It's one I certainly did, and it is really a dangerous trap to get into because it can halt the progress, the satisfaction, the overall success of your freelance business. So, this trap is around whereby you start to offer services or expand your range beyond your core competencies. Now, there's a bit of nuance here because obviously, as you grow and develop, you may well add additional services as your skill set and your skill stack develops. However, what I'm talking about here is whereby you go in as a specific expert in a topic or a service, whatever it is, to a client, and then they ask you for some related services, and they're not exactly what you do well, but you half agree, or you can say, well, I can take a look at it for you, and you end up offering the main core of the project that you offer well, and adding on a two or three sort of extra things. So let's say, for example, you are an SEO expert. Okay, so you're offering SEO services to small businesses. Okay, you may have a more small niche than that, but for purposes of this video, that's fine. So you go in and then they say, well, we also need a little bit of assistance with our social media, and we don't really want to deal with too many freelancers and too many different voices and communications and meetings. So is that something you do as well as part of your digital marketing? And you sort of say, well, not really, but you say I do overlap a little bit with some social media content in terms of the work I do, and use the platforms, and you sort of half-heartedly explain how you can offer it, or you have some expertise, let's say, and the client's like, oh, okay, well, maybe we could try some stuff. And you just sort of like move on from the conversation. And then in the following weeks, it comes up again. And you end up I'll just do a few posts for my Twitter and LinkedIn for me, the client asks, and you end up doing them. And before you know it, you've developed into offering that as a service. Okay. And that can happen across multiple clients as well. And maybe not the best example there, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say is that it could be, for example, with if you're a very clear web developer, but you don't design, and then they say, oh, could you just design the site? Maybe that's a better example. But the point being is that something is out of your core competency. Now, it's very, very tempting, and this is why I say it's a trap a lot of new freelancers fall into, to just agree to it because you want the work, you want to win the project, and you think if you don't say yes, then what they'll do is, okay, fine, I'll go. They'll take everything to somebody else, maybe an agency or a freelancer who offers the services they want. Maybe that could happen. It's probably quite unlikely and quite rare. It could happen, but the point being is that you don't mind if it happens because of these reasons I'm going to explain now, right? So if you start to offer these like blended or blurred services where it's not really your skill set, you're not going to massively enjoy it because we enjoy what we're good at. So when we can deliver value and make an impact for a client, that's going to be enjoyable. So your core skill, obviously, that is where you will enjoy working on. You're going to, so if, there's a learning element which can be mildly enjoyable, but actually the delivery of something where you're getting paid to deliver that service, if it's not delivering great results, you won't enjoy it. Then there can be some frustration on the client's part because even though they knew this from the start, at the end of the day, they still want results. That is all fundamentally what it's going to come down to. So you could be doing a fantastic job in your core service, so let's say SEO again, but now on the social side, you're not doing so great. So then you build up this frustration, slight disappointment, and it can even end the client relationship because they're like, oh, well, it's not good enough for us. We're going to go elsewhere. And you're like, well, that wasn't my core service anyway. I was doing a great job on what you originally hired me for, but because there's been a few issues with the other service that I've ended up doing, we no longer, you no longer want to work with me. And obviously that can be hard to swallow because it's like, well, actually, I'm doing well. I'm doing well in what I was originally hired for. So you want to try and keep focused for those reasons, really. And then you obviously, off the back of that, you build up a niche audience in your space. So you're very, very good at what you do, that skill for a particular audience, and you can build and develop on that. Not to say over time, there's lots of things we've talked in other videos about beyond freelancing, starting an agency or collaborating with other freelancers and bringing in other skills. And you can maybe offer that then as a whole to clients. But particularly at the early stage, what I would say is really focus on your core skill set. What do you do well, and only do that. And it will happen that you'll get asked to do some complementary services around it from the client's perspective. Stay true to what it is you do. Say that, thanks for the interest. That's great to think you would trust me with that service. Thank you so much. But I'm very good at this and I want to deliver this for you. I'll be very happy to do so, but it would dilute it or it would make it less effective if I was to do that because, quite frank, that isn't my core skill set. Who as a prospect is not going to respect you for saying that? And if anything, solidify that relationship that you've been honest and transparent from the start. As I say, you may lose the odd opportunity, but because of the reasons I mentioned earlier, that isn't a bad thing. So yeah, do try your best to avoid this trap of offering services where you really aren't as competent as you are in your core skill. Stay focused on that, and obviously build your freelance business from there.